Hi, everybody. It's Linda G. Monday with Mel. Hi, Mel.
Hi.
Tell me again what happened yesterday. Your power was down.
Our power was down. We had thunderstorms. I mean, the poor dog, she was just shaking. And then um, the power came on last night. Then our internet was out.
Wow.
And then after the storm, it still rained. I finally went to bed. I put the dog on the bed with me because she was so afraid. I woke up this morning and there was 4 inches of snow. So mind you, yesterday morning here in Chicago, it was 61, 62 degrees.
Oh,
Today it's 25.
my God.
So that's why we had all the storms and tornado warnings and all that, because anytime it's warm like that, then you get cold weather.
Oh,
It
there's
causes
some bad
rain.
tornadoes coming up right now as we
We're going to
speak.
see more. We haven't seen anything yet. So I was
Lisa Foster, one of our people that works with
right.
us, she was posting pictures of snow falling in Kentucky.
Well, for us, 4 inches of snow here in Chicago is nothing. But I mean, to go from 61 and then have these major thunderstorms with tornado warnings all over the place. I was in the basement for a couple hours. We had a LED lanterns and stuff. I had the dog down there. Gary was upstairs. I said, well, if a tornado comes and carries your ass to Oz, what can I tell you? But I'm here. you
But
know,
what was I going to say? But your power went out too, right?
Power went out. And we're electric. So, you know, it was out for like I think about 4 hours, but luckily it came back on, so it didn't get that cold in the house. But it went, but had it gone out today, the internet's still out at home, so that's why I'm at my office. Had it gone out today, it would have been bad because it's 25,
Yeah.
and now it's flurries. I mean, like I said, for us, 4 inches is nothing, but it was the idea of 61 to 25.
Right.
Tonight is going to get down to 10, I think, or whatever. It's going to get
Yeah, we're
cold.
going to be in the 70s today.
Ugh.
We're going to be in the 70s all through the rest of
Uh,
March.
well, as you put your suntan lotion on, think of me, would
I
you?
don't do sun. I do not do sun.
You can't see the outside. There's the blinds, but
I
it's
can
also,
see some of the snow through there.
it's like 4 inches out there. So,
Wow.
but it's a wet
So,
snow.
God, I had been upset if the Academy Awards and there was no power. I would have been pissed off.
I couldn't watch them. No power.
That's right. That's
I
right.
could have watched it on 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 my computer on my laptop, but I had to save it because there was no power and I didn't want to run it down.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, you can go. I don't remember. There's some channel. They repeated it again later that night. They repeated the whole thing.
I
But
mean,
there's weird stuff going on. Like all of a sudden, I had MSNBC, and it was repeating the same thing over and over again. It's just weirdness going on,
oh my
right?
God, every time you hear that on your phone, I have my phone on because it was full charge, and I have a portable charger I can plug it into. So I kept that going, but you hear this,
What's that?
The National Weather Service has announced it comes over your phone too.
Oh, yeah. We
So
haven't had anything like that in a while. We've been very
we
lucky.
get it.
So, what's your announcements, my friend?
Well, I do have an opening for Iceland, and for those of you who are worried about the airfare, do not worry because the airfare is covered in the cost of the trip. So you don't have to worry about that. You just have to get to the airport early. But by the time we leave for Iceland in August, hopefully some of these lines at the airports won't be as long. Um, and of course, our Andrew Niki products,
Yes,
which comes in handy in this kind of cold weather because,
I know my
you
face has
know,
been really dry, but I lather that stuff on.
oh my God, I asked Andrew, can I just take a bath in this stuff? And my members, I pick a member a month and they get uh, a whole set of the Andrew Niki products. So
That's cool. He did
yeah.
that for you?
Yeah. Ask him if he'll do it for you.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't like asking for anything. He probably just volunteered that.
He did actually. He did.
Just
But
like our event that we had in Benicia, he gave all those gift packs.
I know he's wonderful that way.
Very generous.
He's one of the nicest. Actually, he's very spiritual too. He's really into spiritualism and spirit and all that. He's one of the nicest, kindest, caring individuals. I mean, he's just a really nice guy.
That's great. That's great. So that's your announcement is
That's it.
you still have an opening. You know, I was thinking about you the other day. When was the last time you went to Africa?
Africa, the last time was in 2024. Uh, we didn't do anything in 2025. Um, what did I go to Africa in 2025? I think. I didn't do Africa. I went to Peru instead. But in maybe 2027, I've got a trip, I think, going to South Africa
Okay.
uh, to see, on safari and all of that.
Oh my God, I've known you. You went a couple of times on those big safari things.
Oh, those were incredible.
Yeah, I can't do
Uh,
it.
well, it's not a lot of walking because you're in the safari vehicles all day, and then you come back to the where you're staying. And some of the tents we stayed in, they were all glamping. You got a bathroom, you got, but they are,
Yeah.
but they are tents. But they're
But an
all
elephant could still run right through it.
well, one they couldn't, but the other one was right in the middle of nowhere, in the Serengeti. And it took us like 4.5 hours to get there because, by the time you get to the gate and, the roads are not paved. But, there was a dining hall tent and the outside walls, what they do is they build outside walls and they put the tent inside of it with a roof So the front of the tent zips and there's a back. But the only way an elephant could get in would be to come through the front. But elephants have very, very poor eyesight.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, their eyesight's really bad. I mean, they were right next to our safari vehicle, and the driver said they can't see you, but they can hear you. They can hear, their hearing is incredible. We were in a hot air balloon, and we were probably a quarter of a mile away, and there was a herd of elephants. And the guy said, that elephant can hear us talking. Now watch his ears. And his ears were flapping, and they turned and started running the other way because they could hear us.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then
I didn't know that.
they found out that elephants name each other and they communicate by stomping their feet, and they
Wow.
can hear that. So, there were elephants that strolled around at night, but they told us do not go out at night no matter what you hear. So we didn't. But we knew that elephants had been around because when we'd walk to go to the dining hall, they would send somebody with us to come and get us. And they were carrying a gun, not to shoot the animal, but they shoot in the air and it scares the animal and they run off. But you could tell that elephants had been there during the night because you can see their droppings and they were
Yeah,
fresh. So
that's amazing.
elephants are incredible animals. They're just amazing.
Yeah, I love
All,
elephants.
all animals are incredible. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
it was an
so
experience.
I have 210 questions, which we won't be able to get all done.
And I've got
And
70. So,
you've got 70. I'll let you start since you're the guest.
okay. Um, Lillian Palko says, will the US ever rid ourselves of fascism that we are experiencing now? Even in this short time, I can't imagine more and more of the same. I'll be praying for all countries living with fascism that democracy will eventually overcome this disease.
It will happen, but it's about 10 years away.
Um, well, I think once Trump is gone, and I think once the Maybelline Queen is gone,
Yeah,
then the fascists in this country will crawl back in the woodwork.
yeah.
But over the world, fascism across the world, I agree it's going to take 8 to 10 years for all that to go away.
So Trump had a conference this morning with his lies about Iran. And
Here's
of
what I have
course,
to say to Trump. Read between the lines.
he said that Representative Dunn, Mike Johnson was sitting with him, has a terminal disease and may be dead by June. And Johnson said, actually, that was supposed to be private. So he announced one of his people is going to be dead by June.
Wow. Wow.
The guy was a military doctor. He's my age. He was born the same year. And apparently he's got a really bad heart.
He must be very young.
Yes, obviously, he's at least in his 50s.
I thought he was in his 40s, Linda.
So, yeah, that poor
Well,
guy.
what kind of
So,
doctor would really want to be in Trump's cabinet? That doesn't
he's
speak much.
not in the cabinet, he's a legislator.
Oh, I got it. But if he was a MAGA and a Trumpster, it still doesn't say much for Trump, does it?
No, and he did announce he wouldn't be running again. But he's not leaving because he's mad at Trump. He's leaving because he's terminally ill.
Well, did you hear that Trump is now almost begging other countries to help him in his nasty little war that he started against Iran? And he's rebuffing those countries uh, who refused or were ambivalent about it. And now he said that those some countries are on their way, but when asked, he failed to name them. We'll be announcing it soon.
No,
Okay.
there's nobody on their way. He's very angry at the UK.
Well, here's what I said though. So it's just Trump hyperbole. But then he contradicted himself by saying that we, the United States, do not need anybody's help. We're the strongest in the world. The war is won. Then he tried to say by saying his request for help was a test for our allies to see if they
That's a
would come.
bullshit. You
It's a
know,
bunch of
he's
BS.
lying.
Right.
But
Germany refused. Germany refused. Italy, Australia, Japan refused. Great
France.
Britain, France, South Korea, they're non-committal.
And so now he's saying this was a test about NATO.
Right, right. But that's the
And
same
now
NATO that, go ahead.
why should we give money to NATO? Because we gave them a test. But this test, this alleged war, was never okayed by the American people, and they
Or
know it.
NATO, or NATO, or
Yeah.
our allies.
But he thinks he can call what he wants, and you better stand up for me. And guess what else they were talking about on the
But
news? He's talking about removing those four pillars in front of the White House that's been there for a couple of centuries because he doesn't like them. He wants to put something different in.
just like his ballroom that went south.
I mean, that looks like a whorehouse inside the. It's my little Texas whorehouse. It's awful in there with all the gold and it's just terrible.
It's not even built the ballroom.
No, he can't because they're telling him no.
But this is the same Trump that wants NATO's help. After he blasted them in the past, he and Putin worked together to try to weaken that alliance. Did not want Ukraine to join NATO, talked about that they would have to pay us back the money, and now he wants their help. Well, you know what? They're giving him the middle finger. And
Right.
guess what?
And guess what? Doesn't matter what he says. As soon as a new president comes in or this one's impeached, we're back in NATO.
NATO's not going to go away. I can tell you
No,
that right now.
no.
I mean, we're talking about this war that he and Netanyahu cooked up. Well, Netanyahu, really. But because Trump wanted a diversion from the Epstein files, almost 1 million people in Lebanon have fled their homes because of this.
Jesus.
Uh,
So
you
here's
know,
my question. This is from CW. Can you please ask where the military leadership is doing in this illegal war? Well, there's some leadership that's pro Trump for sure. But I'm going to tell you, blasted all over the news today, BBC and everything. They are getting military men turning their backs and saying, I'm not going to be part of this.
some of the military people that are for Trump, like that general who's telling people it's a religious war, it's for Jesus. Well, here's what they're doing with Trump. But that's select few. The rest of them are totally against this and tried to tell him that.
Yeah, and oh, yeah, they got rid of some people that were against it.
Well, you know what, Linda? Some of them are going to come forward, even futuristically, and say, we warned him not to do this. Now, what Trump will try to do is classify it, but then I see it declassified. And if he classifies it, then they can't talk about it. I know his tricks. That's what he'll try to do.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. These young men, they're already backtracking. There's so many American soldiers that have said, no, I'm not going.
That's right. I agree. You know?
Let me tell you, if my sons were in there, I'd
Oh,
fight tooth and
I'd be
nail.
like, no, you ain't going. I mean, had they attacked us, that would have been a different story. I would have said absolutely. But
Yes,
they did not attack us.
no.
We attacked them unprovoked.
And I'd be claiming bone spurs everywhere.
Oh, Absolutely.
Okay, give me a question.
All right. Ryan says, hi Ryan. Has Netanyahu passed on? A lot of news on Twitter and other social media saying an Iranian missile ended him, his son, and some generals. Is there any truth to this statement?
Something's going on with him because they keep putting on. They just had one where he was in a coffee shop, right? And saying, "Oh yeah, this is all fake news." And then you see the cash registers got a date on it from 2 years ago. And then they showed where his hand went in his pocket and the pocket came up on his hand, which is not possible unless it was a fraud. And his nose, the side thing of him, and the side thing, his nose is little, and in the other pictures it's big. They are proving that that's not him. But
Hmm.
why won't he come forward and say, I'm here or I'm injured or something? Something's going on.
I still pick up he's still alive.
Well, he may be, but he could be injured really bad, or he's a little chicken, you know what, hiding
Well,
somewhere in a hen house somewhere.
I took my mint out. I'm sorry. I know that was not very tacky, but it's for my throat.
You used to
Um,
scratch your ass at the table when we'd have a meal. What are you worried about?
oh, it's true. I did remember. It's a lozenge. It's got lidocaine in it. My throat was kind
Oh,
of
that's good. Yeah.
where they did the
Are
surgery. It
they
was bothering
prescription or can you buy them over the counter?
prescription.
Okay.
It was bothering my throat a little. My throat was bothering me a little today, so it does sometimes. So I put that in. I think he's just in hiding because he doesn't want them to know where he's at. Um,
I threw the cards on it. You know, the cards will speak their truth. And they said he's dead.
okay, well maybe he is. I could be
But
wrong.
you know, we thought Putin had died too at one
Right.
point in time. So, but he's out of the picture. He's not giving any orders. So I don't know what's up.
It could be that he's in ill health, but you know what? We both have said that Netanyahu is going to be taken out. So,
Oh, definitely. I thought he would be a cloth over his head and he'd be removed. Maybe he is kidnapped right now. But also, I think the new leader, the new guy they just put in for the Iran, I feel that guy's going to get knocked out too.
yeah, I see that. I see that as well.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's your turn.
Okay. Can you please read on the UK? As the EU is prospering the new trade deals with other countries, the UK is being left behind. Will there be a time in the future when you have to rejoin the when we have to rejoin the EU? Absolutely yes.
When they did Brexit, my guides told me that them leaving the European Union would last for quite a while, but then they would want to rejoin the European Union. And I do see them petitioning to rejoin the European
I
Union. They
see
want
it,
to,
you know, peace. I see everybody rejoining everything when this clown and when Putin's gone too.
well, they'll join the European Union because they want some of that trade as well. And considering what the United States has done, my guides had shown me when Trump was all anti-European Union and all this, and he pulled all these tariffs, that those countries would band together for Ukraine and band together and start their own trading and be very strong. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yep. And Ukraine is hitting Russia hard, hard.
Oh, hard and big time.
Yeah. That's how I like them.
Putin's going to be taking, me too.
That's what she said. So
Or
Putin's going
he,
to be what,
depending on
or he
preference.
said, what did, what were you, I got to ask you real quick. What were you picking up on Christy Nome? I feel like she's just going to tumble down the hill.
Oh, she is. She's done. I still see her in orange sliders. I still see her in jail. I see her brought to trial for obstruction, for abuse of power. And I see states like Minnesota, Illinois bringing her to trial because of the murders of those two people in Minneapolis
Yes,
and the
yes.
person here who was shot and almost killed. So she's going to be in hot
You know,
water.
she retold the story of how she got involved in that commercial thing and how Trump's assistant had her come back into the room and he said, "You know those videos you did in whatever state she came from?" He said, "I want those. I want your first video to thank me, and then I want you to do those. If you're if you're from a foreign country, don't come here."
I believe
And and so of course he's saying he never gave permission.
he did. He
But
did. He
her
knew about
name
it.
is, and that Corey guy, he can't stand that Corey guy.
Well, I mean, I see them offering her a deal, not the states, but the federal government, and to say what she knew. And Trump will say it's a lie, but she'll have some proof. I mean, he knew about those commercials. Come on, he knew about
Yeah.
them.
Well, also, I see her getting paid to write her story.
Oh, absolutely. But nobody will read it.
Nobody cares.
It'll be like Melania's. But what I see is a movie coming out about her and Trump telling the entire truth, like with Pam Bondi, Christy Noam, Cash Patel, all of it. It's going to
Yeah.
be all. Um,
Damn.
it'll be
She's done, and Corey is too.
exactly.
They have an affair, but I see, he's been attached to her because she listens to him.
Right.
She
Well,
was going to make him what did she was going to make him something big in her organization,
well, that's another one, no pressure.
and Trump said no.
Bingo. That's another
And
one,
he
no
said,
pressure.
don't allow her in the White House and cut her off from Mar-a-Lago. So she has no permission. Remember when he said, I'm now making her blah, blah, blah? And I told
Right.
everybody, that's bull.
Right.
He's not, he doesn't want her around. She's going to show up for duty. And if they even give her a seat to sit in, they're going to say, file these boxes. Right. So go ahead.
Okay. Uh, well, this is a good one. Nancy Gomez says, Hi, Nancy. When all of this is done and we have a new president, what is going to happen to all the people that are in the concentration camps, work camps, and the children? Let's call them what they are. You said it right the first time, Nancy. Concentration camps.
Yes. Yes.
I see them released. I see them being
I
paid
see them going
reparations.
through lists now. A lot of people got ended. I hate to say that, but the crimes against humanity is the big event that's happening for anybody in this regime, and they
And a,
will all pay.
and a lot of them I see, like if they were applying for citizenship and hadn't yet got it, that they will get citizenship. And some of them that were arrested illegally and detained illegally without due process, they'll be offered citizenship because they weren't criminals. They didn't do anything wrong.
Right,
Uh,
right.
so, oh yeah. And the children, I see a lot of them reinstated with their parents. Uh, and, I just see changes to the Constitution and to legislation once Trump and the Maybelline Queen are gone, pre preventing something like this from ever happening again.
They're going to have all kinds of, and also limits on Congress and Senate for how long they can serve.
That's right. I want to ask your opinion on something.
But
Um, Trump is trying to ratify the Constitution or to amend the Constitution so he can run for a third term. He can try, but I don't see it happening.
not going to happen. I even see the Supreme Court saying you can't touch that.
Right. Well, he can try it, but he doesn't have the votes for the states or in the House or the Senate to do
I
it.
don't see him being able to live much longer. I see him really going under.
That's my whole point. Well, that's
Which
another point
which
too. I don't
brings
think he'll
me
be
to the
alive that long.
question, will the SAFE Act pass in the Senate? And I don't feel it.
If it does pass, and I don't feel that it will, because there are Republicans against it too. My feeling is it would go all the way up to the Supreme Court, and they would say you
No.
cannot restrict people's rights to votes. I mean, this court is starting to vote on things against Trump already. So I'm not
Yeah.
saying I like the justices he put on the courts. I'm just saying that they are starting to, and I just heard that I don't know if it's true. I'll have to check it out. I just read somewhere, and it wasn't AI, that the Supreme Court is now saying that he's not immune from being subpoenaed in the Epstein files.
Ooh, that's good. That's good news.
Bingo. He'll lie.
Bingo.
He'll lie, but
Yeah. Now, is it your turn or is it my turn?
um, it's your turn.
Do you see the draft actually being used?
No, he might try, but if he does, it's not going to get anywhere.
I see people downright refusing. As it is, a lot of military men are, and their families are saying, F you. We're not going to fight a war that it's illegal. He never asked permission to do this. He just decided on his own,
Right. I'm
causing
just
our gas prices to go through the roof.
I'm just curious about those members in the House, those Republicans who voted for it. They're going to be gone. I'll tell you who I see out of Susan Collins, and I will be clapping. She is such a
Yes,
com
she's way below like 20%.
she's not going to win. Oh, I
I love
remember
it.
he won't do it again. Oh no.
I think he's learned his lesson.
Oh yeah, right. I think he's learned his lesson. Oh, okay. I don't know what her gig is, but she'll be gone soon. The people
Well,
in
she's
Maine,
two-faced. And I'll tell you,
very.
anybody that takes money from Israel, even my Dan Goldman, who I really liked, I don't know what he was thinking taking money from it. Well, he is Jewish, but there's a lot of them who are Democrats are taking money, and they really have a come to Jesus moment that they have to explain themselves. These people were giving out money so they could have a piece of them, and I think some of them are kind of like, oh shit.
That's right. They know. Um, okay. Gina P says, "Hi, Mel and Linda. What will be the state of Indiana's public education? Many public school systems are on the verge of bankruptcy due to decreases in funding. New legislation just passed that government officials must support ICE when they come to our schools. And our governor is making it so that Charlie Kirk's organization makes presentation to our schools."
That's I don't understand. We were putting all kinds of money in schools, and then suddenly it was over. Things will change after he's gone.
Once Trump is gone, they're going to put money back into public school because basically any other country invest a lot of money in their public school education because they know their future is educating their children. This
Right.
country's going the opposite. This country is
And
going the
they're
opposite.
not even feeding our children.
Oh, it's horrible for kids to be hungry. What I see happening is Indiana, a lot of families deciding to homeschool and just homeschool their kids at home. And that government officials have to work with ICE. I see some of them blatantly uh, saying that they are not going to work with ICE because what ICE is doing is illegal. And if that legislation went to the Supreme Court would overturn it. They would say that government officials do not have to work with ICE.
Yeah. As it
So,
is, didn't the Supreme Court do something like that where they said, no, you don't have to give the information?
bingo. They're
They
going to
were
be
trying to
blank.
get it from Social Security or something.
I see those officials blatantly refusing to work with ICE.
Okay.
So good. It's your turn.
Um, will Iran missile attack Trump's newest resort in Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Oh, good. Thank you.
When you asked that, I saw like some kind of drone and I saw these things shooting out of it. And then I saw that resort,
Yeah.
if it ever
Um,
comes to fruition anyway.
he hasn't made any comment about the Academy Awards, but Cohen and Bryan made some statements about him, and was it Jimmy Fallon came on, and he was giving an award for a short documentary, and he said, "Oh, I bet Trump's pissed off Melania wasn't voted in."
Any any celebrity that supports Trump, I refuse to watch their shows. I refuse to go to their movies. I refuse to do any of that.
But let me tell you something else that I felt. He is so hated right now,
Oh,
even by his people, that you know how they're talking big shot that guy's going to take over CNN and they're going to do well. Cable shows you can't do that to,
right.
like MS Now and all that. They can't really touch them like they think they can. Oh, but they can hurt CBS, but CBS is already bought.
Yeah, but
But what
she's
I
gonna
see is people don't won't they're not going to get there. Some people stuck on Fox News, but so many people don't like Trump that they never get the numbers to be successful.
Right. Barry Weiss is going to be gone at CBS.
Good.
And I see Fox News changing at some point. I see legislation passed in the future that, that they're going to have to deregulate and legislation passed that one family can't keep buying up all these large networks, broadcasting
I
networks.
know it owned by one family. Yeah.
It can't be owned by one family. It's going to be
Yeah.
like, no, it has to have shareholders. You cannot have a monopoly.
Yes.
And that's coming within the next 3 years. And a return to the equal fairness doctrine. So that is, if you give one candidate this much time, you have to give another political candidate this much time.
That's how it was before.
Well, that's before the Reagan years it was, and I see us going back to that. And
Okay.
I also see a time coming when people are going to be able to write off the interest once again on their credit cards.
Oh, wow. That was years ago.
It's going to come back. That just hit me.
And by the way, the credit cards are being used big time, and a lot of people are filing for bankruptcy.
Well, what's going to happen though, now the credit card companies are going to start jacking up interest rates at 35%, and nobody's going to be able to pay them back.
Yeah.
And then they're going to try to change the bankruptcy laws again. So, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be in favor of those filing for
Where
bankruptcy.
I don't see Trump being able to do much through the end of this year. I see a total stop in who he is and what he's doing.
Well, he's going to be lame duck. If he makes it that long, he's not going to make it long, I'm telling you.
I'm telling, we've been seeing that since the get go.
Okay. This is a really good question. Laurie Alcantara asks, will the bulk of the felon enablers be pushed out of office, praying for the cult to go away and to stop causing trouble? Good question.
Will the bulk of what?
Will the bulk of the felons, in other words, will the bulk of Trump's enablers be pushed out of office? She says she's praying for the cult to go away and to stop causing trouble.
Yeah, well, when the king goes down, they're all going down with him.
But also, what I see coming futuristically, and my light bulb just went on, is that I see once again legislation passed, federal legislation, that if somebody has an active felony conviction, that they cannot run for federal office.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I see.
And you have to be a certain age, no,
Right,
not over, and you have to show your IRS statements
right. All that.
because he's taking money from the U.S., but we're going to get all that back, you guys.
Right.
Because even Qatar is furious at Trump. They want their jet back.
Exactly. Exactly. And I wonder how they're going to do that.
So Dorian said they're putting pregnant migrant teens in a special camp. Is that to prevent DNA testing to protect ICE? That could be it because I do see ICE as the reason a lot of these teens got pregnant.
Bingo. That's exactly why. Will Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro win re-election this year? I see him winning again. I see a Democrat in that position.
Okay, cool. Boy,
All
it's
right.
just amazing. Their blue is winning left and right.
Exactly.
And Trump's not going to be able to put into place anything. He might even try an executive order, but I see everything getting overturned. We're going to
Well,
be able to vote.
once the Trump regime is gone, I see a new president coming and keep saying this. His or her first executive order is going to be overturning all of Trump's executive orders.
Because this is going on too long, Mel. We have been listening to this anus lips
I know.
for too long. He got in the middle of all the stuff that was taking place with Biden. He stopped that beautiful immigration reform that we were doing with one of the top Republican people. The guy couldn't even believe. He told them, "Don't vote yes on it."
And people are realizing that they drunk the Kool-Aid. So,
Yeah.
all
Ooh,
right.
will Amy McGrath win Mitch McConnell's Senate seat in Kentucky? I think she will.
I see that. Yes. Good. I saw Kentucky going a little purple. So,
Yay. He's getting ready to kick the bucket. I don't know why he hasn't already.
Well, I mean, I
They have
can't.
to put him in a wheelchair. Somebody said the White House in that in the congressional is like a geriatric facility.
I see a point in time when these white, bigoted old men will be out of office, and a lot of the white, bigoted men that are in their 40s and women in 50s. No, I see new order coming for the Democrats, new fiery Democrats that'll speak up and an end to this
Progressive. Yeah.
and an end to this ultra right-wing so-called Christian nationalism.
There's no
That
Christian about him.
there's nothing Christian about it.
What do you see with that woman that looks like a person? Um, Charlie Kirk's wife.
Trump doesn't care about Christianity. All he does is panders to the ultra right because he knows that if he panders to them, he can manipulate them and get them to do what he wants. He doesn't give one hoot about Charlie Kirk's wife. And you mark my words, he's going to turn on her too. How much you want to bet?
Whoa. Interesting.
When I said he was going to turn on Marjorie Taylor Greene, everybody thought I was crazy. I might be a little crazy, but he's going to turn on her.
And he did.
That's right. And he's going to do the same thing to Charlie Kirk's wife. And you know what? Once Trump is out of office, people like Charlie Kirk, he wants to put a big picture of him. I see it taken down futuristically.
Yeah. Any picture of Trump. Oh, Conan O'Brien last night on the Academy Awards said, or was it Jimmy Fallon? Said, uh, yeah, the Academy Award of something arts. He said, if you notice, we don't have the pedophile and the in other
Right?
words, yeah, like he did with the Kennedy Center.
So Charlie Kirk's wife is going to, after Trump is gone, I don't see her gaining much momentum after that.
I see the money stopping. That's all you
Oh,
got
the
to
money
do
will
is stop
stop.
the
That's
money.
right. That's right.
Okay, what's your question?
Wanda Garrett says, hello. T-Rump blew up ships in Venezuela, etc., for the oil. Well, he confiscated them for the oil. Oil companies didn't want it. Is he doing this in Iran for the oil? Of course he is, as they
Yes.
supply 20% of the oil. Of course. I keep saying he's getting wealthy, more wealthy, getting his palms greased on this war. So is Netanyahu.
I can't wait to
But
find out if Netanyahu's gone, baby, gone.
but all that money, he's not going to be able to keep. I can tell you that right now.
So the airlines have contacted the president and his staff to fund TSA, and
He'll
they're
say,
not paying attention to him. The Democrats have tried to put a special funding bill just for TSA, and the Republicans voted it down because their master said not to vote for it.
but
My
I'm glad.
question is, will the pilots decide, you know what, we're walking out?
Oh, pilots will decide to walk out as well. Absolutely.
That's what I
And so,
felt like. They're just done. And you know what? We're tired of our customers suffering. I see a lot of people having to cancel or not buying flights.
and so will flight attendants.
Yeah.
But the Dems are going to say, we are not funding ICE. We're not funding your war, Donald. You
And the
know,
most important thing is we're going to say yes on the Saves Act.
that's right. And they will hold tight on it.
Yeah. Because he said, if I don't get my Saves Act, you don't get any funding.
Well, guess what? He's going to blame the Dems. And it's like, Donald. Mm-mm. I watched Hillary Clinton's testimony, that
Yeah.
supposed
How was
closed
that?
testimony. Oh my God, you got to
She's
see it.
so eloquent in her speech.
She went off. They didn't know what to say.
What was that clincher that you remember?
Oh my goodness. She was saying, how this whole thing was just ridiculous. Her and her husband being called to testify, when who they should be going after are the people who are really in the Epstein files, and how they try to cover it up, and how they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing and really looking at things. And it's just basically a dog and pony show. She didn't say it quite like that, but
Yeah.
that was the gist of it. And man, she crucified Lauren Boebert, and Boebert tried to talk over her, and Hillary wasn't having it.
Well, yeah, she posted a picture of her and she said, "I've had it.
And that
You
Nancy
had
Mace,
rules that we followed, and you don't have to follow those rules."
exactly. You got to
Did
watch it.
did Boebert get told off behind closed doors
She did. Absolutely.
by the Republicans?
I don't know, but I know Hillary told her off.
Yeah, she told her off in public, but I'm saying behind closed doors, did the Republicans say, "What an idiot! Why would you do that?"
They know she's an idiot, of
Oh,
course. Just get groped in the movie.
Jesus, I'll never forget that. Her going to that theater and
Oh,
rubbing
yeah.
that guy's
You know
banana.
what? I think in his case, it probably wasn't a banana. It might have been a Tic Tac.
So, well, just let me throw another question real quick. What about that gal? I can't stand her. She's that blonde that she called somebody in Trump's administration or somebody that loves Trump tiny or micro penis. Did you see that?
No, I didn't
And
see.
Trump was furious. She's the one that she had an out with him when she interviewed him the first time he was president. And now she runs this show that just like she's totally pro Trump, but she called this guy micro penis. What the hell is that about?
Who knows? Anyway.
I told her, I wrote her, I said, unless I see a picture, I gotta have proof.
And it better not be enlarged.
I was laughing so hard, and I think I might have already told you this. Forgive me, the old age. But I was talking to somebody about when you got out of the hospital and you had that big old surgery with your intestines, and you were high as a kite. And I said, "Hey, Mel, do me a favor. Check to see if your penis is still there."
For that.
And I think you actually went to check for a
I
second.
did. I go, wait, let me look.
You know, they were cutting away. They might accidentally cut that off.
That was so funny. I'll never forget that. Oh, I was on Dilaudid. They had me on everything. The pain was just so excruciating.
Poor thing. That Dilaudid can give you nightmares big time.
I didn't have nightmares. I was just thankful they gave it to me because the pain was really. I've been through a lot of pain in my life, but that was absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
Okay. George Ann LeBeau says, will Iran become less hardline and give its own people more freedom?
Well, what?
Will Iran become less hardline and give its people its
Yes,
own
that's
people
going to
more
happen.
freedom?
I saw that years ago when that big religious team took over. I said, "Don't worry," because they've had a taste of what that they used to have. I think the second guy they put in is getting taken out if he's not already.
Right.
And I'm almost feeling like after we're walking away from Iran, the people themselves will come up because I used to see the women taking over.
I think after this guy's taken out, there might be one more Ayatollah that will come in, but they're tired of of a theocracy and they're tired of the Ayatollahs. I do think though, or cyclically, I think that when Trump invaded Iran, or let's didn't invade, when he bombed Iran, it was unprovoked. Um,
And
I
because he
think,
had to, because Bibi bombed first.
yeah, right. Yeah, BS. But anyway, I think it did coalesce a lot of the Iranian people to band together against Israel and Trump.
Yeah.
Uh, but they do want their freedom, but they don't want to go back to the days of the Shah either. So
Yeah.
I see them becoming more democratic and more independent. Absolutely, all
Good.
within the
Good.
next 2 years.
And you know, the Iranian people are beautiful people,
Oh, I know.
physically gorgeous.
I
And
mean,
the Iranian women are just beautiful,
I have a
stunning.
lot. I have a lot of friends from Iran. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends from everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to be bragging by that, but I don't care where somebody comes from or what their religion is or the color of their skin. What I care about is that they're good and decent people. That's what matters to me, you know?
Yeah. Trump is being laughed at big time. I can hear
Oh,
people
laughed at.
laughing at him.
How does it feel to be the laughing stock of the world and also the most hated in the world. And now Trump is finding out that him bullying, his techniques are not working. And instead of backing off, he's trying to bully even more. And that's going to make people stand up against him and countries stand up against him even harder.
Well, you heard that he offered a reward if you helped him get rid of Maduro. He
Wow.
offered an award for people that would help them capture Maduro, and his valet and somebody else took the this thing and helped them get Maduro captured, and then they left him empty-handed. They didn't give him a dime. That's how Trump rolls. People don't forget that.
Exactly. Okay, it's your turn.
How will fuel prices affect the economy?
Oh, huge.
Yeah,
Because
but what are you feeling with this economy? I feel a lot of heartache up until June.
I feel inflation, recession. Uh, you know, diesel fuel here is over $5 a gallon. Regular gas in California is over $5 a gallon.
It's
So if
six
you're paying,
dollars up the street from me.
so if you're paying more, to get goods out to people, the way they get those goods to people or to the stores is through fuel and through trucks. They're paying more. So that means in order to compensate for that, who does it hurt? The end buyer, us. So it's this trickle down stuff doesn't
Yeah.
work. It affects everybody.
I was
So
telling my son last night, I feel really bad because I remember days of really struggling. Writing that check, hoping it doesn't bounce that for groceries, hoping if you fold it, it would last an extra day so you didn't have to worry. And I know what it's like to struggle. And I will tell you, these families out here, God forbid something happens to their car, they need a new battery or a tire. God forbid that, and they're upping on insurance rates, and these poor people just trying to survive, and then this gas thing happens like they need this. And my PG&E and even my Comcast have all, and my AT&T have all gone up.
it's all going to go up because fuel prices, natural gas prices are going up. And that's all due to Trump. Oh, it'll be a temporary inconvenience in my rear end.
I see
You
a
know,
little bit of a time before they. I do see our nation's congressional really looking at some of these price gouging things that are going on with these big
oh, it's
corporations.
totally price gouging. I remember being in college and waiting for a paycheck, and I would buy potatoes, a loaf of bread, and a thing of Velveeta cheese. And I would make potato soup or potatoes with some Velveeta cheese over
Ooh,
it
that sounds
with
delicious.
with some onions, and I'd have that, and then I'd have Velveeta cheese sandwiches until I could get a paycheck. And I
Well,
had
that
two
that
accounts.
sounds delicious. But
It,
Velveeta cheese is through the roof right now.
oh, I know you can't afford it.
I remember the day it used to be cheap.
Oh, cheap, right? Or I had two bank accounts, one in Louisville and one in Bowling Green. And in those days, it took a while. They didn't have computers like they do now. So I'd write a check on my Louisville account to put in my Bowling Green account so that my checks I'd written wouldn't bounce, and then worry about how to get money into my
I
Louisville
know that
account.
one. Yep, yep. But I feel bad for the people just trying to stay alive in this madness.
It's horrible. It's horrible. And unfortunately, it's going to get worse. I wish, and I'm not doomsday. I am, always cautiously optimistic. But with my predictions, I just say what my guides tell me. But it's going to get
Well,
worse.
my guides have always told me this too shall pass.
It
And
will
they've
pass.
always wanted us to know that he's going to be gone. But they did say, hang on tight till June.
It's going to be a rough ride. Buckle up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And the famous words of Betty Davis,
there you go.
fasten your seatbelt.
Was it Betty Davis or was it Mae West?
No, it was Betty Davis. I have the memes. If she
I
goes
love
up in the stair and she's holding a martini, she says, fasten your seatbelt.
I love Mae West. I've been watching. She's always been my
She
hero.
was so funny with that red nosed guy. What was his name?
Oh, W.C. Fields.
Yeah. I
She
heard he was a
really,
cranky old man, but
he
she,
was, and he was an alcoholic, and she put him in his place.
that's
In
great.
fact, she was on a movie with him, and one of the stipulations of him being in the movies that he couldn't drink.
Ooh, I
And
bet he hated that.
she came on set one day and he was drunk, and she said, "No more." And they made sure he didn't drink, finish the movie. She never worked with him again.
Damn. Well, he
I mean,
was a straight up
she was a
alcoholic.
she was a spiritualist. She had seances in her apartment. Oh, she was I mean, she came across, with that, with her, is that a pistol in your pocket? Are happy to see me. But she really was bright, and she was a spiritualist. And I knew people that knew her. I never met her, but they would go to seances in her apartment.
Isn't that? She was it Rock Hudson? She got into the business. She got somebody into the business.
I don't know.
And he
She
said
helped a
if it
lot of
wasn't
people.
for her, he wouldn't have been able to be in the business. If she took
She
a
helped a
liking to
lot
you,
of
she liked you.
she helped a lot of people.
And she
So
lived to be pretty old.
she was way ahead of her time.
When did that W.C. Fields, did he die kind of young from alcoholism or?
I don't know. I don't even know when he died, probably in the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, but or in the 80s. I don't remember exactly.
Boy, did you see Hawaii, the flooding going on there?
It's bad all over.
Jeez, I remember in my beginning when I don't know if it was this year or last year, but I remember seeing big floods in Hawaii. I
Yep.
see landslides too.
Oh God. I'll have to call. That reminds me, I got to call my friends on the islands and see if they're okay.
I
I'll
wonder,
have a report by next week.
yeah, I wonder if the power's out.
Oh, it's been off and on everywhere. Because the problem was the winds. The winds got so high here. I mean, they were really whipping them. They were really gusting. So anyway,
So
um,
anyway, we've been on an hour.
all right. So next week, my channel.
Yeah, next week's your channel. Hold on, I'm looking when W.C. Fields died.
When he passed away.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was
He
funny.
died on Christmas Day in Pasadena. He was 66.
Yeah, he was not
Cause
old.
of death, complications related to alcoholism.
But
And
when?
it,
What year?
uh, 1946.
Oh, wow.
He was born in 1880 in Darby, Pennsylvania.
Wow. Yep. I thought it was
Yeah,
in
he
the
was a straight up alcoholic. You couldn't help it. It's a disease.
It really is. It's a sad disease, but it's a disease. And unfortunately, it's a disease that affects everybody around the alcoholic.
On the Pit, that show that I love.
Oh, I love that show.
Did you see the one where the alcoholic died?
No, I
Everybody
haven't seen
loved him. And all of a sudden, he started spitting up blood. And apparently, that's what happens with alcoholics. Their lungs just
collapse.
turn into tissue.
Mush.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
On a happy note.
On a happy note. Well, thank you guys for coming on with our show. I'll try to hit up the rest of the questions and a
Yeah.
little a personal video.
And I'll do one too to try to get to them. But because I've got a bunch here too. So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Well, you
next
have
week.
a good week.
All right. Same to you, sweetie.
I'll talk to you next Monday.
All right. Love you.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
you guys.